Man, does it feel good to make another Soul Eater video, guys? I'm so glad to be back. What's up? It's Beauty Sean, and let's talk about one of my favorite characters from Soul Eater, Soul. Now, when it comes to Soul, the first thing I want to talk about is his design. I think we can all agree that when it comes to Soul Eater, Okubo literally went above and beyond because it's probably one of the most easily identifiable animes you could look at. And it doesn't have to do something like One Piece when we're making all the characters look weird and extremely big. I love the fact that Oda's able to exaggerate his characters to that degree, but I think it's very impressive how in Soul Eater he doesn't need to do something like that to make his characters stand out. From Soul's casual wear to his sharp teeth and even his hairstyle. In his design alone, he has such a huge presence. When you look at him or take a glance at him, you can't help but ask, what anime is he from? And me personally, I feel like if your characters can do that, make you ask the question, bro, what anime, what series is this guy from? You then have succeeded in designing an amazing character. But if there's one thing I definitely do appreciate about Soul, is that this guy is cool. And I know what you're probably thinking, well, no shit, he's cool. But this isn't just any type of cool. Soul can absolutely do nothing and still seem to be one of the coolest anime characters you'll ever see. And what do I mean by this? Soul does not have to be broken to be cool. Soul does not have to blow up a planet to be cool. Soul does not have to be an edgy fuck to radiate cool energy. He's cool because he actually has style. If we were to compare him to Black Star, obviously Black Star is cool, but Black Star is cool because of what he does. Soul is just cool because that dude's cool. Soul can genuinely not do much. He doesn't have to flip around. He doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to have some crazy OD character depth or some tragic backstory to make him interesting. Because that's just how powerful his design is. His design is the definition of oozing personality. But that doesn't mean he lacks any character whatsoever, because with such a strong design, he also has the writing to complement it. Now, I know I've been talking about being cool a lot, but it's really only because I have to. Because you'd be surprised just how much this attitude has to do with Soul's character and his writing. What you think is cool, what you think is impressive, what moves you is always subjective. There might be a decent generalization when it comes to it, but for the most part, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Soul is a musician, and his love and passion for music is probably why he's the easiest character to relate to. Who doesn't have music that they like? Even if you're not too big on music, or even if you don't even spend that much time listening to it, you at least have a few songs that you like. There's probably been a time where you shared your music and people liked it, and there's also probably been a time where you shared your music and people disliked it. And with this subjectivity, there will always be an objective outlook. Everything is ultimately relative. If you were to hear Soul play the piano, you would think he was amazing. But if you were to know anything about music, or even playing the piano, you'd know that he stands no chance against his brother Wes. Soul's passion is the piano, but in comparison to his brother, despite how passionate he is, he will never be enough. Soul's love for the piano, Soul's burning passion, is what makes him who he is. His passion is his driving force. But because of how skilled his brother is, he can't help but look down on himself. Look down on his passion. The same thing that keeps him from being swallowed up by madness. Playing the piano keeps him away from fear. Similar to how us as the reader have many passions, whether it's drawing, music, and so on and so forth. This keeps us away from the fear of death. Soul playing the piano keeps him from fearing death. The Black Room was developed from when Krona almost killed him. And when he goes in the Black Room and plays the piano, it helps him feel alive. It is how he enjoys life. and is the sole reason as to why he doesn't get swallowed up by madness. And this is how he parallels Azura the Kishin. The Kishin got consumed by his fear of death, and he was seeking power so he could release himself from it. Soul, after having a near-death experience due to Krona cutting him in the church, began to fear death, and this madness began to fester due to the black blood, and he began to seek power like Asura, all so he could overcome that fear. But the reason why Soul didn't become a Kishin was because, unlike Asura, who sought power only for himself, Soul wanted to get stronger so he could protect others, and to be more specific, his Meister. But it took a lot for Soul to get to this point, because originally he was scared of becoming stronger, because he didn't want to get consumed by chasing it, just like the Kishin, because this is exactly what the ogre wanted. Soul was afraid of playing the piano. He was afraid of his passion, and ultimately, he was afraid to live. The ogre tells Soul to stop acting so detached. He says, "Your soul is rotting out from under you. Just take a look. Your soul's not moving. You'll never get anywhere that way. Haven't you had enough of not living? Enjoy your life. Go on." Soul is scared of letting loose, and playing the piano was how he would do that, because it helped him forget about his fears. But this passion also created a new fear, the fear of not being good enough. What if you were to try your best and it was still not enough? Putting everything on the line, but it's still not enough. The thought of that alone will keep you from ever trying. And if you never try, are you really living at that point? This is exactly what happened to Soul. In comparison to his brother, he gave up, because if he were to try his hardest and still couldn't compare to him, he'd be nothing, and he wouldn't be able to be cool anymore. Being cool for Soul is an excuse and an escape route, so he doesn't have to live or commit to anything. What path do you choose in life if you think all of them are stupid or not good or not cool? Soccer's kinda lame, so I don't want to play it. I'm not gonna practice. This job's kinda lame, so I'm not gonna do it. I don't need the money for real. Drawing's kinda lame, so I'm not gonna draw. If everything's lame, what do you do with your life? And this was Soul's major conflict. I'm so cool that I don't really want to try to do anything. I don't want to commit. You see me playing the piano? I'm so cool playing this because I'm not even trying. He was afraid of trying. He was afraid of living, because true strength comes from your will to live. And he was afraid of what he'd become through living. What if his will to live turned him into a monster just like Azura? He was so willing to live. He was so afraid of death that rather than protecting his partner, he chose to consume them. Soul even almost did this to Maka. In this moment, he could have done exactly what Azura did, because he started to lose sight of himself. Living and playing the piano caused this. He began to get jealous from his brother. He began to be afraid. Soul wants to live cool, and he began to use it as an excuse. He was scared of putting himself out there and being judged. And the ogre continuously reminds him to play for keeps, stop holding back. At this point, Soul realizes that he needs to stop holding back, and that's exactly why he no longer fears the ogre. He's able to face the madness without fear, because at this point in the story, he knows who he is and he won't lose sight of himself again. He dropped the Evans part from his name, not because he was trying to run away, but because he was drawing a line for himself. Because he's not the same coward he was before. Because this time, he'll actually be cool. He will be cool and in control of himself. Playing the piano was a part of him. A part that he'll always have to accept. Even if he's not good enough, it is still his passion and a symbol of his will. His will to not be afraid, his will to not be consumed, because that's what true power is. And it is through this he was able to play the piano for Maka and live without fear. And believe it or not, this goes full circle with the ending of Fire Force. Soul's entire character arc is summed up by Shinra's speech. When you live every moment without regrets, with everything you have, death is no big deal. These lives were given. We should enjoy them like big idiotic fools. It's what lets our souls burn bright. Now I just want to say thank you guys for watching the video, and it feels really good to be back. And I hope I could keep making more Soul Eater videos for you guys. If you want more, please like and subscribe, because I want to keep making these videos for you guys. But with that being said, if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, don't be afraid of living. Don't be afraid to live your life. Don't be afraid to dribble the ball, talk to your crush, go outside, or whatever. You can face your fears, and just like Soul, you can conquer them. Never waste your life away. Now, with all that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys take it easy.